So it looks like we got some pretty interesting news when it comes to the next generation of consoles. It looks like, according to all these new rumors floating around the internet, it does look like the PS5 is going to be more powerful than the next Xbox. For the longest time now, a lot of people were actually saying Xbox Scarlet was actually going to be more powerful than the PS5. If we backtrack to this generation, the 8th generation of consoles, you guys will know back in 2013 when the PS4 and the Xbox One actually came out on the market. You guys will know the PS4 was actually more powerful than the Xbox One, but you do have to realize the PS5 wasn't much more better than the Xbox One. For instance, the base Xbox One would play games at around 900p, a lot of games, and then you do have to realize the PS4 would play games at closer to 1080p. But for the average consumer, or even for hardcore gamers, it wasn't really noticeable. It pretty much boils down to you bought one system for its games, you bought one system for all of its features and things like that. You didn't actually go out of your way to buy the console just because it had slightly more power. When it means slightly more power or more powerful, most likely it means that it's just going to be slightly more powerful. You may get a couple more frames here and there when it comes to the frame rate. You may get slightly more resolution and slightly better graphics, but we're not talking miles better with the PS4 versus Xbox One debacle back in 2013. Now fast forward to the next generation of consoles, the PS5 and the next Xbox, and when it comes to the PS5 and the next Xbox, no matter which one actually has more power, one of them's not going to have miles better power. It's going to have slightly better power. Even though Microsoft keeps claiming that the next Xbox is going to have some type of 8K performance, I doubt the next Xbox is actually going to be playing games at native 8K. There's no way in hell the next Xbox could be playing games in native 8K. What Microsoft most likely is talking about when it comes to the next Xbox playing games in 8K, it's most likely going to be upscaling or maybe somehow of future-proofing the next Xbox so they don't have to make one after that, or they want to make sure down the road if 8K TVs become more prevalent, they can do things with 8K TVs. But I don't think the next Xbox is actually going to have 8K. I think what they mean by 8K is, again, I do think it's going to be upscaling the games to 8K, which is definitely a possibility. But what I also think Microsoft means when they're talking about 8K on the actual next Xbox, I do actually believe that they're actually talking about things like streaming from it. Because if you're streaming things like Netflix, or if you're streaming things maybe even from their xCloud service, of course, then maybe you could get 8K performance out of that without a doubt, because watching videos on the net through YouTube, through Netflix, through all these different subscription services with 8K, it wouldn't take a lot of power. But there is no GPU on the market currently that can actually handle 8K gaming, and I doubt by the time the 9th generation of consoles actually roll out to the market, will we ever get 8K native support with these games. And I don't think we would ever get 8K 120 frames per second like Microsoft is actually talking about. So I think that's definitely out the question. But whatever box anyway ends up being more powerful than one another, I think when it boils down to everything, and when it boils down to your choice of the PS5 or the next Xbox, I think for most people are not even going to care if one's slightly more powerful, because let's face it, one's just going to be slightly more powerful than another. But it is still interesting that all these rumors are floating around that apparently now the PS5 is going to be much more stronger, or more powerful anyway, than the next Xbox. Ultimately, it does actually kind of matter that one system is going to be more powerful than one another, because it will kind of steer people in the direction of which console do they want to buy. Do they want to buy the next Xbox, or do they want to buy the next PS5? Because some people want the best money can buy, and technically if you boil down things, if one is slightly more better, you will get slightly more performance, you will get slightly more better frame rate resolutions and things like that, but it won't be miles better. But to some people that really does matter, and when they hear their favorite console or one of the consoles on the market is slightly more better, they're going to go ahead and buy it for that reason alone. So it will help your brand overall. But for the most part, I think most people don't care if the box is going to be slightly more better, slightly more powerful, have slightly better frame rates and things like that. But it is just interesting now to see that the PS5 is apparently going to be much more stronger than the Xbox, the next Xbox Scarlet. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.